A good chapter. Hopefully. All the chapters are good. All right. But Numbers chapter 11. There's some things we can definitely get from this chapter. So Numbers chapter 11, and we're going to start at verse 1. Like always, if you have something, you can bring it out. But Numbers chapter 11, and we're going to start at verse 1.
And when the people complained, it displeased Yahweh, and Yahweh heard it, and his anger was kindled. And the fire of Yahweh burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses, and when Moses prayed unto Yahweh, the fire was quenched.
So, beloved, what's a key part we can grab from this? Complaining. All right. Complaining and murmuring. Most High does not like that. Okay. Some things we did often. He does not like the complaining and murmuring. All right. As I get older now, mom used to say that 'cause I used to complain, like, oh my God, stop complaining. Right. And now I'm going to the same thing with my son, like, stop complaining all the time. All right. So we gotta understand, beloved, we are learning and understanding the God that we're dealing with, right? Our God, the true God. All right. We have to know how to entreat him, right? How to deal with him. What's our place, our role when it comes to him? All right. Now, I want you to understand complaining and going to him and venting to him and all that, these are two different things. Okay. This is going to be dealing, well, we're going to get into it, but it's a reason why. So don't think if I'm going to the Lord and saying, Lord, I'm going through this, now I'm complaining. No. All right. It's not what he's dealing with. All right. So people complain and it displeased Yahweh. Why? All right. When he heard it. And he got so upset, right? His anger get kindled. Because he don't just get upset when we do just one thing, right? Constant, right? And it just kindled like a fire, building up. Okay. And what happened? Lord sent out fire and burnt them up. Okay. We will see he deals and punishes in different ways. One of them is fire. Okay. What was the next part? Two. So what they do now, they cry to Moses, right? And you see how people are. They're gonna do all this complaining to the Lord, but then when something happens, now they're gonna do what? They want to cry to Moses. The same one they all had problems with and talking about something, they're gonna cry to him. Okay. And Moses had to do what? Pray unto Yahweh to say what? Can you please have mercy? And that's what the mediator, intercessor would do. Okay. That's the kind of power that the man of God is supposed to be possessing, right? To go out and pray. What prayers of a righteous man availeth much. Okay. So he doing as Moses that intercessor, right? We know Moses at a height when it comes to our forefathers, but he went and prayed to the Father. Okay. Anybody got anything from verse 1 or 2? All right, let's keep going, brother.
And he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of Yahweh burnt among them. And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again, and said, who shall give us flesh to eat?
Y'all see how our forefathers do. Once I'm telling you, we get hungry, right? We start complaining. All right. Now remember, beloved, I want you to understand, we was already complaining before. Okay. Remember, we was complaining, that we were hungry, we wasn't getting nothing. All right. Then he gave us what? The manna. Okay. Then they're still complaining. Okay. So we had a problem of complaining. And yes, like sister, you are right. And we still do the same thing today. No matter what God can give us 1,000 things, but as soon as we don't get that one thing we want, we're going to complain and murmur and talk about all. We forget about the 1,000 and we're going to focus on that one. And you got to make sure you ain't pick up that spirit because people pick up that spirit in different aspects of their life. People that ain't grateful can't never be content. Okay, this is that same spirit that was overriding them. Okay, let's matter of fact, let's go to one real quick. Let's go to Exodus 16. Let's go to Exodus 16, and you can read verse 2 and 3. Exodus 16 and verse 2 and 3.
And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died by the hand of Yahweh in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill us whole assembly with hunger.
Right, so you see what they was doing. All right, they murmuring. First thing you'll see the same signs. They'll murmur against the leader. They'll murmur, right? The people that's supposed to be another. They'll murmur against them. Murmur against the Most High God. Okay, and listen what they saying. With the God we had died by the hand of Yahweh in the land of Egypt. At least we was what? We was getting fed and stuff there, even though we were slaves. Because remember, we were crying in Egypt. And remember, it said it reached the Most High, and he remembered the promise. Now he saved these slaves because we were saying it was so bad in Egypt. Now he delivered you out of it, and now you're saying, man, it was at least we were slaves, but at least we got fed. You can't, some people you can never satisfy them. All right. And beloved, we gotta purge that spirit from us. Stop trying to find the one reason why you don't want to serve God, why you don't want to live for him. Don't try to find that one reason. When he gave us thousands of reasons why we should stick this thing out, why we should never give up on him, why he is a real God. All right. So don't let Satan mess us up. Well, let ourselves, I don't want to blame Satan for everything. Let ourselves mess us up. Okay. So they complain, man, we was in there, we was good. You know what I mean? At least we was full. Okay, but you was a slave, fool. That's what you gotta look at. You was a slave. You got freedom. And sometimes freedom, you have an idea of what freedom is, and then when they ain't going everything picture perfect like you expect, well, I want to go back and be a slave. And that's the same thing we do today. Same exact thing. We crying about the brutality stuff like what's going on in this world, right? God delivers us. There'll be some people, well, man, at least they gave us this. We still had a brutality. You're gonna be doing the same thing. All right. So we need to what? We need to learn from the what history that we have been provided. Okay, the Most High has given us wisdom through this. Let's go to Psalm 78. Let's go to Psalm 78. Complaining about flesh. We need to eat flesh. All right. Like this bread is good, but we need flesh to eat. Right? Think about some of y'all right now. Y'all, if you had a decision, you could be freed on, you get your own lane, be free, but you're limited on what you have. You're gonna be over there, man. I remember when we was in captivity, we can go here, go there. And that's how people think, beloved. And that's how it's gonna be. You just gotta realize that's how it's gonna be with some of us. But we that are in this thing and have put our life down and got to this truth, we gotta understand we can't be that way, right? Psalm 78, jump down to verse 18.
And they tempt God in their
I'm sorry. Let's go to 17. Walk down.
and they sent yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. And they
Mhm.
tempt God in their heart by asking meat for their lust.
So they tempt them in their heart by asking me upon their lust. All right. And this ain't just, Lord, do you got something to eat? You know what I mean? I want y'all to realize don't think God that petty. I wish I had this, right? It was different than that. Let's keep reading.
Yea, they spake against God. They said, can God furnish a table in the wilderness?
Y'all see what they're saying? See, it's the doubt and the questioning that's getting involved with it. God, I want y'all to realize, beloved, God literally, they said he just did these 10 plagues in Egypt. That's why I want you to understand how bad we are. He just did these 10 plagues, delivered us from one of the strongest, if not the strongest empire at that time. We got delivered from them without lifting a sword, beloved. That is unheard of. What y'all realize? He did. Our God did everything. We didn't have to fight, lift nothing. He delivered us all out of there. Nobody had to be left back. We could all get delivered. There's no army and thing in the world that could have did it like that. But our God did it. Got out there, and the first thing we want to get when we get this other side, right? Deliver us from our bondage and get us to that other side. What we want to do? We want to complain and think about what was in the past. My Paul saying you gotta look things that happened in the past. You keep them back there. But some of us took what? That slavery mentality, that oppression mentality, we took that mentality right with us. That ungrateful mentality, we took it right with us. But we were supposed to what? Purge that off. We went through the war, that's supposed to purge that kind of stuff out. But some of us didn't. Okay. So they're like, can God furnish a table out in the wilderness? Can he provide these things? Come on now. He did all these miracles. You talk about just some meat. See how they question just because they're hungry, they want some meat, they're gonna question God of what all he's been doing? And the man of God who he's been. This is what God deals with. All right, verse 20. Verse 20.
Behold, he smote the rock, that the waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people?
See that? He made water come from the rock. Moses smote it, right? And he's upset with that. Can he get bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? And this is what it becomes, beloved. We can go back to Numbers 11. It becomes a thing where we always just almost like we're just challenging and tempting them, right? If your God can do it all, then why are you questioning certain things? Can God heal me from this? Can God, give me this more? You already know he can, all right? But if you over there just trying to mock him and murmur, and can he do this? I don't know if he can do this. Well, that's just going to get yourself caught up in the wrath of God. You think you're going to receive anything like that? No. Okay, we wouldn't even want to tolerate that. Somebody mocking and murmuring against us, and we're going to give you all this because you no. So let's not do that same thing to our God. All right, let's not fall like some of our forefathers and foremothers. Okay. All right, we back at Numbers 11. Read that verse 4 again.
And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat?
Mm-hmm.
We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes.
I see that. You see what they did? We remember the fish. We remember who's eating the fish, and you see their diet, beloved. They wasn't eating all the crazy fried stuff that we doing now, right? We eating the fish and the cucumbers and the melons and leeks, man, to the what? To the food. We were freely able to get all this anytime we want. But you see the thing they miss, they not pointing out? Y'all was in captivity. Y'all was being in hard bondage. This is why the Passover thing was so important. We do the Passover, we got supposed to have that it was the meal, the lamb, right? And then we had what was the other key component? The bitter herbs. Bitter, why? Because we was in bitter, it was bitter bondage. And look how quick they forgot. That's why he wanted to do it. Yeah, I don't want you to forget this stuff. Okay? But they worrying about their food. Listen, because they're hungry, their soul is doing a little bit of suffering. You see how we'll go back and we will blaspheme against our God. We will go against our God because we're a little hungry. They starving to death, fast. Listen, and now our soul is dried away. There's nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. They wanted more than the manna. Okay. But once again, we should know how to approach the Most High if we want more, we desire more. I ain't saying nothing wrong. You want more, beloved, but don't go this route because what you're doing is you're going to start building unbelief in your mind. And it's going to be my relationship is based upon how much God can give me or provide for me. And when he stopped providing me the things that I feel I need, right? Now I can question him. Now he's not like he was. See, we want God to be our genie where we get our wishes. Lord, I need this. Lord, I need this. Lord, I need this. And it's fine, like I said, to make the request. All right. But also part of asking questions, beloved, you can get a no too. I know you're in the church and they just think you're gonna get yes, 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 like he's like Oprah. You get some, he can give us anything, but I don't mean he's going to give us everything. Okay. But how they're going about it, very wrong. Okay. You desire from the Lord, you go to him. You pour yourself out. Okay. And then you wait for how he's going to answer you. He might give you desire of your heart. He might say, not at this time. He might say, nope, you're not going to get that. And we have to what? Accept his will with whatever he says. Okay. All right. So remember, manna is it just means what is it? All right. They didn't know what this stuff was. They just seen this stuff and they kind of explain it. Go ahead, give us verse 7.
And the manna was as coriander seed, and the color thereof was as the color of bdellium. And
Mhm.
the people went about and gathered it, and ground it in mills, or beat it in a mortar, and baked it in pans, and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was like the taste of fresh oil.
I'll give us verse 9 as well.
And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell upon it.
And this was crazy, beloved. This was food sent from heaven. It was a miracle in what they had. But you see how we won't even appreciate and understand. We won't even see that we forgot that this was a miracle. Remember, they didn't have the, this is stuff that wasn't there. They didn't have no food. Most High provided something that was new. That's why they said, "What is I?" We've never seen or expect. What is this stuff? We literally are eating a miracle of God, and we still not seeing God in it. We can still say, "This is not enough. I'm not content." Y'all see that? Some of y'all are feasting on the miracles of God, but still not understanding because you're what we don't have if we don't keep our mind on them. Look at it. We could be consuming the miracle, the mercy, and all that stuff, and still be like, you know what? This ain't enough. If he gave me this one, I'll be satisfied. Right? This is why we have to learn to be content. I ain't never think about that. Like they literally was eating a miracle stuff, right? It's a miracle. And as they consuming the miracle, they still have it in their heart. They can't even see the providing that God is showing them. I can make something out of nothing. And we still not content. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent. And the anger of Yahweh was kindled greatly. Moses also was displeased. What was it said unto Yahweh? Wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in thy sight, that thou layest the burden of all this people upon me?
And see, and Moses was referred to as what? The meekest man on the earth. Right? But look at the weakness that was going on. Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent. All right? Because I'm not putting this on the women. This is man problem.
Yep.
See, when the man to now it's the issue. Y'all see that? If it was just the women crying, it wouldn't have been no thing. It would have been, all right, man, got to get your house in order, right? But you can see the heads were messed up. And this is what's displeasing to the Lord. All y'all crying in these tents because you're not getting the dish you feel you need, your body's yearning for. All right. So it was kindled. Moses was what? Also displeased. Really? Moses, it blows his mind. It's like, what? All that God did for you? He heard you, delivered you. You was a witness. Beloved, I want you to understand, it ain't like it's us that might, you got people that can doubt it. Well, they ain't really have right. They witnessed it. This is a generation that witnessed it. They were there. And left as the first generation. You can't lose faith that quick. This is what it is. All right. And then Moses, what? He started going. Sometimes the people, what? I told you, sometimes the men of God, some of them are good. Sometimes they don't have that strong backbone to deal with the pressure of the people. Everybody can't deal with the pressure of the people. When they start complaining to you, they start going to you, right? Putting that pressure on you. We seen King Saul fold, right? Moses going to well, he went to the Lord saying, listen, wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? You afflict them. Why? I have found not favor in thy sight that thou layest the burden of all this people upon me. Now this all their weight, they're crying, it's coming upon me. They're coming at me. And you'll see that people get angry at God. Sometimes they get angry at what? That minister, right? The teacher, the leader, whatever. Start blaming. I can't complain to him. I'm gonna complain to you. I'm gonna throw, I'm gonna attack you. And that's what he's getting the blunt of that, right? Forgetting that Moses was the one to lead him out. But see, you can be a hero. You can be a hero one moment, and in the next moment, you could be the villain. Okay. Let's keep going, Brother Kai.
And Moses said unto Yahweh, wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in thy sight, that thou layest the burden of all this people upon me? Have I conceived all this people? Have I begotten them? Thou shouldest say unto me, carry them into thy bosom, as a nursing father beareth the sucking child, unto the land which thou swearest unto their fathers? When should I give them to eat? When should I Whence should I have flesh to give unto all this people? For they weep unto me, saying, give us flesh that we may eat.
So you're like, man, listen, I didn't conceive him. I didn't bring him out. I can't take care of all them people. Moses, he being real and Lord, listen, I can't take care of all them. I didn't even put him as my just the most high. Right? You swear to take care of them and take them there. And look, now they all coming to me. Right? They come to me. Excuse me. They come to me because they what? They want flesh to eat. And beloved, don't think this is nice. Israel now. Don't think they ain't probably throwing certain words out there, certain threats out there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They coming at Moses, and Moses can read the room, right? There's certain times where people come at you like, man, you get fearful what? Your life. Because you gotta understand it's a spirit upon them at this time. When somebody can't contain their flesh and their desire, their lust, right? They'll go to extreme measures. Okay? Let's keep going.
I am not able to bear all this people alone, because it is too heavy for me.
Mhm.
And if thou thus with me, kill me, I pray thee, out of hand, if I found favor in thy sight, and let me not see my wretchedness.
So
Mm, mm, mm,
Moses is crying out to the Most High. And I
mm.
told you, you can get real with God. He don't need to lie. Oh, I can do it. I can handle it. Nah, he like, Lord, I can't do this. This burden of the people is too heavy for me. And this is why I want to say, even with Saul, realize the weight, everybody, that's a heavy burden. And this is why leaders definitely have to be what? Before the Most High God. Because sometimes not even the pressure of what you can do, what you contain yourself. Remember, Moses can contain himself. He can live this thing if he's just worried about himself. But see, now the pressure of you have to what? You got to try to appease all these spirits, all these thousands of people. Like, man, listen, this is a lot. I was like, I ain't signing for this, Lord. You know what I mean? You listen, you take me out. But this is too much for me to bear. And this is something, like I said, beloved, we can go to Most High about. All right. One of my prayers, Lord, I I don't know how to lead these people. You teach me how to do it. Right? We go to Most High. Lord, teach me how to love properly. Right? All these things. We can go to Most High and have that conversation. This is the best person to vent to, okay, is our God. But be transparent, be open with him. This when he can what? Build you up, but you have to humble yourself. Yeah, Moses humbled himself. Listen, Lord, this is too heavy for me. I'm admitting I can't bear this burden. This weight is too heavy. Okay. All right. Anybody got anything? I'm sorry. Remember, y'all can always just put in the chat or go off mute. No, you don't have to wait for me to say it if y'all have something. All right, let's keep going, Brother Kai. I don't see anything.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee. And I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take of the spirit which is upon thee, and will put it upon them. And they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear not it thyself alone.
All right, stuff to unravel here. Okay, so yeah, I heard his plea, burden. Okay, he said to Moses, "Gather me what 70 men of the elders of Israel." All right, grab some elders. Ain't bring no 12-year-old, no young. Bring me some elders, some seasoned people. Whom thou knowest to be elders of the people. All right, who are leaders, who are true leaders. All right, not just because age don't mean you're truly wise and all that kind of stuff. Right, young fools will turn to old fools if there's no correction. Okay, so ones that truly elders, truly leaders of the people. All right, so whom thou knowest to be elders of the people and officers over them, okay, and bring them to the tabernacle of the congregation. All right, remember that's where we go to the tabernacle congregation, almost like remember the Lord will kind of meet us there. All right, that's how it's kind of verbalized and the understanding behind it. All right, so bring these 70 to congregation temple. All right, I mean tabernacle congregation. All right, and then verse 17, I will come down and talk with thee there. Why is that important to understand? So they know he's getting it from the Most High. You always want to have that kind of showing, right? He's dealing with Moses to deal with everybody else. So he's dealing with the intercessor, dealing with the leader to pass it down. I will take, listen, of the spirit which is upon thee. Okay. So not the characteristics of who Moses is, but the spirit that was put on Moses. All right. This is very important. To be a true leader, you need to have the what? Spirit. Okay? And even with the spirit, it was what? It was heavy on him. So don't think, well, I got the spirit of God, so nothing's gonna affect me. I'm just gonna be invulnerable. Nah, you can still feel things in his flesh. All right, even though you have the spirit. So you're looking at this, the spirit is upon thee, and will put it upon them. So the spirit I have on you, I'm gonna put that same spirit on the rest. All right, we should kind of know what that is, right? Dealing with what? That'd be the Holy Spirit he's putting upon them. And they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, all right, that thou bear not thyself alone. So he heard the part about his burden. So he's answering that part. All right, I understand. All right, too heavy for you? Problem. The same spirit I put upon you, I'm gonna put upon these elders because the spirit is supposed to be what? Leading us. All right. Remember, he's the true king. So he put the spirit upon to lead it, but now he's putting that spirit upon the other elders, other leaders. Okay, so they will be led, and we will be what? A spirit-led people. Get it, beloved? Spirit-led people. Okay. All right, let's keep. Okay, yeah, we keep going.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, did I read that already?
We at 18.
Wow. And say thou unto the people, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and ye shall eat flesh. For ye have wept in the ears of Yahweh, saying, who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore Yahweh will give you flesh, and ye shall eat. And ye shall not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but even a whole month, until it come out of your nostrils, and it be loathsome unto you, because that ye have despised Yahweh which is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why came we forth out of Egypt? Mm, 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 mm.
All right. All right. So I mean, you can look at someone, you needed that bad. All right, I'm gonna give you all and more. All right, give you all of it and more. So, so sanctify yourselves. All right. So he's saying to people, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and ye shall eat flesh. So set apart, set apart. Remember, sanctify them that set apart. All right. For what? He said, I heard you. I'm gonna say unto him, I heard you. I heard y'all crying. AKA, I heard y'all murmuring and complaining. I heard y'all. All right. I'm acknowledging that I heard it. Okay. But guess what? I'm going to give you flesh and oh, you're going to eat it. You're going to eat it because what? It ain't going to be 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, 10 days, because you're going to complain. If I gave it for 1 day, man, I wish I had it for two. Gave it for 2 days. Oh, if we would just gave it to me 3 days. This is how we think. This is how we are. He said not 10 days, not 20 days, but a whole month. It's going to be so much. It's going to be coming out your nostrils. You're going to be disgusted at how much it is to eat. Right? So God, like, have a little sense of humor with it. All right, with what He's giving them. All right, why? Because thou despise Yahweh. All right, which is among you. I'm among you. I'm right here, and look how you're treating me. You treat somebody wrong and discuss right in front of their face. God knows how you do it if the person not around, right? But I'm doing this because y'all despise me, and I'm actually right here with you. And had wept before Him, saying, "Why came ye? Why came we forth out of Egypt?" Like, are you serious? Y'all was doing all that crying all those years. Deliver us, deliver us, God, please deliver. Here we are crying. I take you out, and they haven't even been listen, beloved, it haven't been 50 years yet. It hasn't been 50 years from being in bondage for over 400 years, and these knuckleheads saying, let's go back. I want you to understand the long suffering of our God. Because if it was any one of us, we wiped each other out a long time ago. But He's better than us. This is why that fruits of the Spirit, that patient, like, He's so long suffering, He's so merciful. Because they deserve to get killed for saying something like that. I don't care how bad you feel. To say why you bring us out of Egypt when you know darn well you're the reason why. But this is what people do. We'll say things in a moment, then we'll regret it once we get it. All right? We say we love God. I want to serve y'all, do whatever, because we understand the condition that we was in when we was in sin. Remember, it wasn't all good. It was that, man, we need to get right with God. I need to get God, but things happening. Deliver me, Lord. Teach me how to serve you correctly. Teach me. I want to be pleased. I want to get that reward that you talk about. He goes and gets you and puts you in the right space to, get you anointed teacher and all these kind of things, getting you the right stuff that you can get that reward. Then you'd be like, man, you hear something you don't like, man, I don't know about that. Man, it wasn't even that bad when we was out in the world, man. We was happy, we had job, this is how we'll get. We'll turn our back on the Most High God. Okay. All right. Anybody got anything for that? All right, let's keep.
And Moses said, the people among whom I am are 600,000 footmen. And thou hast said, I will give them flesh, that they may eat a whole month. Shall the flocks and the herds be slain for them to suffice them? Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them to suffice them?
Keep going. And this is, like I said, Moses wondering, I know you're saying it, but I don't know how, like, to satisfy all of them with meat, like, what we doing? We killed all the livestock we have here? Are you gonna give us all the fish in the sea? Like, this is a lot of people. Listen, beloved, it's easy when you talk about a couple that, I'm saying Christ did. Remember, we had like 3,000, 5,000, right? We had, when you get 100,000, you get into a million, over a million people. This ain't no small feat to feed them. And remember, he said not for 1 day, 2 days, 10 days, a month. Y'all know how much food is to feed over a million people for a month? And most look at the stock like this ain't nothing. We kill a livestock. I don't even know if all the fish in the in the food, in the sea gonna do it. All right. So of course he's just like, I don't know. Okay. But of course he believes God can do it, just like I don't see it. And this was sometimes some people don't understand. Sometimes he don't give us the whole layout. Right? God said he's gonna supply us, he's gonna give us what we need to make it to the end if we just seek his face. But sometimes he don't tell you how that path's gonna look. And sometimes when you get into that unfamiliar place, like, you know what, this don't seem like the right path, right? We'll sometimes start doubting and getting off the path. All right. But stay persistent, stay on the right Yeah, beloved. All right. Sometimes you're not going to get an understanding of the fullness of things. All right. You just got to trust in what he says. Okay. Let's keep going, Brother Kai. Let's keep going.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, Is Yahweh's hand waxed short? Thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass unto thee or not. And Moses went out and told the people the words of Yahweh, and gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people, and set them round about the tabernacle.
All right. So this is a good point. Lord said to Moses, how his hand waxed short. Thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass unto thee or not. All right. You're going to see. All right. And the Most High will do this and will show us certain things. Even if we down, beloved, there's times he'll show his strength and show his power to you. Now, beloved, if he does it, you need to believe it. It ain't gonna keep happening every time you have doubt. Why did you show me this? Nah, if he does show you, beloved, you need to be grateful and keep that in your memory. All right. Let's keep going. You got the 70. Yeah, the 70 elders. All right. They're around the tabernacle still.
And Yahweh came down in the cloud and spake unto him, and took of the spirit that was upon him, and gave it unto the 70 elders. And it came to pass that when the spirit rested upon them, they prophesied and did not cease.
Mhm.
But there remained two of the men in the camp. The name of the one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad. And the spirit rested upon them, and they were of them that were written, but went not out unto the tabernacle, and they prophesied in the camp.
All right. So you got these elders prophesying. Okay. And they're not ceasing from prophesying. So they keep prophesying. Do I know exactly what they were saying? No. All right, it just says prophesy, so I got to keep it like that. Um, and then you have what? There was two people that wasn't there, but the spirit went on them as well. All right, and they started to prophesy in the camp. Okay, let's keep going.
And there ran out a young man and told Moses and said, Eldad and Medad do prophesy in the camp.
He said, "Man, these two brothers prophesying in the camp." Go ahead.
And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his young men, answered and said, My Lord Moses, forbid them.
You forbid them. All right, stop them from. And this is remember Joshua. We should know that Joshua the son of Nun, right? The one that be taking over next. All right. All right. So he said, Lord Moses forbid them, stop them, right? Stop them from prophesying. Okay. And probably because they wasn't with them. And we see kind of the same kind of process happen in the New Testament with Christ and they had people that was, doing certain things. And I think they might have been actually were they delivering people from demons and healing? They were doing something and they was one to forbid them. And Christ's like, wait, they're not against us. Like, that's not they for us. Like, why would I forbid them? They're doing the work too, right? But we will have this kind of thing, right? We'd be like, oh, prevent them. If they're not right here with us, nah, don't. Nah, it's still the work Lord's doing, okay? Or that make sure we're judging rightly, not judging according to the appearance of things or to our understanding of things. All right. Go ahead, brother. Wait up. Where you leave off at? I'm sorry. Did you read 29 or no?
You know.
Okay. I'm sorry.
And Moses said unto him, Envious thou for my sake? Well, God, that all Yahweh's people were prophets,
Mm-hmm.
that Yahweh would put his spirit upon them.
Uh-oh. Little prelude, a little preview. All right, one of those hidden gems. Okay. As the season's coming up for what? Pentecost coming up. All right, one of the big events happened in Pentecost at Acts 2. We'll be diving into probably next week, and then Pentecost that Sunday. Listen what he says here. Very important. Moses said unto him, Envious thou for my sake? I would God, listen. Don't you ain't doing it for my sake. Listen what he said. Moses saying, I would God that all the Lord's people were prophets. I wish they all was prophesying. I wish they all had the spirit of what? The prophets on them. And that Yahweh will put his spirit upon them. So you see where Moses' spirit was at? See how he see a little different. They look, oh, you need to stop that. Moses like, I wish everybody, the spirit was on all of the people of God. that we were all prophets. Guess what, beloved? This is what we're supposed to be. Spirit of God is supposed to be on all of us, that we all are prophets. Moses giving you a little prelude to what he's speaking to. That spirit is letting us know. This is the point. We all supposed to be prophets. We all supposed to be having the spirit. Okay? Remember the spirit upon them. Let's see if it's something different. Matter of fact, let's just go to Acts 2. We're not going through the whole thing. We're just gonna go to the point. We're gonna go through this chapter probably in 2 weeks, in a week or so. I don't know. Very soon we'll go through it. So Acts 2. All right, verse 17, Acts 2, and this is verse 17.
And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams.
Next verse 2.
And on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy.
So seeing that same thing, right? So we had a little preview with the what? Spirit going on the 70 elders, and then those two that was outside the camp. And Moses like, I wish it was on everybody, right? And we see that one of the prophecies later on, Joel, they was actually referencing Joel in that passage, but saying it's going to be pouring out on his handmaids and everything. So that is the point that's supposed to happen. Okay. When all of us, the spirit to be on all of us, all of his people. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep it there. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. We had I'm sorry, verse 30. All right. So Moses saying, I wish that all of us had the spirit on us and we all, basically be prophets and prophesy. Because we're supposed to be doing that for the nations, right? Remember the whole thing. You're supposed to be what? Teachers. It's supposed to be a nation of priests. Okay, we'll be teaching. All right, so we need the spirit to be doing those things. So you see, it was all connected. Already was showing that was the plan for us. Okay, but go ahead, brother Kai. I'm sorry. Verse 30.
And Moses gat him into the camp, he and the elders of Israel. And there went forth a wind from Yahweh, and brought quails from the sea, and let them fall by the camp, as it were a day's journey on this side, and as it were a day's journey on the other side, round about the camp, and as it were 2 cubits high above the face of the earth.
That's a lot, beloved. All right, that's why Moses is like, I don't know how you're gonna. I'm not understanding how you're gonna fulfill this. That's a lot of meat to be able to provide for all these people. That's why he's saying he wasn't. Moses was exaggerating. Like we're gonna kill all our livestock and get all the fish and sea. Like you know how many? It's a lot of people. So they might he bringing this. I think another passage might say it might say the east wind. It might tell you the direction. We brought all these quail, and he's saying you don't know the thing is it where a day's journey on this side. Some of the Bibles might have how far that is. I don't remember. I remember a while ago I did look it up. Um, but a day's journey is basically a journey that will be sufficient for a day. Like you get so at least a couple miles. So we got quails that way, right? One way, a couple of miles of quail the other way, and not just one little stack of quails, just to get the long length. He's saying as high as what? 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth. All right, so it is plenty, 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 plenty. He provided for them. Okay, because he said, I'm gonna give you a lot to be coming out your nostrils." So he provided a lot of quail. Okay, and this was sometimes, beloved, we will refuse. If you can see kind of even the comparison, even with Christ, they refuse Christ and we'll take Barabbas. We see that same kind of spirit always been in us. God is offering us manna, right? Offers angelic food, as they was calling it, right? Heavenly food. We won't reject that now. We want that, right? So make sure, beloved, we stand in the spirit because we don't want to fall in that same example of some of our forefathers and foremothers. All right. Verse 32.
And the people stood up all that day and all that night and all the next day, and they gathered the quails. He that gathered least gathered 10 homers, And they spread them all abroad for themselves round about the camp. And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, or it was chewed, the wrath of Yahweh was kindled against the people, and Yahweh smote the people with a very great plague.
Ooh. All right, so we'll catch on that. All right, so they had so much. Listen how long they was up, beloved. Think about how much you gathering. The people stood up all that day, and all that night, and all the next day, gathering quails. They're getting plenty. Definitely, if you've been yearning for it. You like, oh man, they gathering to the brim. Their whole place is probably filled with with these quails. All right, and they're just consuming and what? Um, I think another verse actually said stuck in their teeth. He killed the wild. So he was killed. He killed some of them while they were stuck in their teeth. All right, while they eating and gobbling down. All right, he hit them with a plague. Okay, verse 34. Because he ain't never say he forgiving or wiping it out. That's another thing. We catch the fine print. He ain't never say he gonna wipe it out. He heard what you murmuring and everything. All right, so just so you know. But go ahead, sis, what you got?
My apologies. I know I'm a little delayed. I was finishing up the Sabbath soup. But um Numbers 11 and 27, where Moses, when they was trying to forbid Moses to prophesy, and he said, well, no, they tried to get Moses to forbade them not. It reminded me of Christ and Mark 9 and 38, with John, and it's the same as Christ, and it just bring back to remembrance when it said, Christ, we don't have to go to anything, but it would just bring it back in remembrance when it said, Christ would come in Moses, behavior, that's how we know who Christ would be, one of the prophecy of Christ, but it's a whole lot of foreshadowing of the same thing over again. Just like Moses forbade them not, Christ forbade them not as well, but yeah, that's just a little side note.
Oh, perfect. That's the one I was thinking about. Remember, I didn't know exactly where it was at, but I thought this is the one I was talking about. So
Oh,
that's
I hear you. My apologies, brother.
no,
I
that's
just sat down.
you don't got to apologize. That shows the spirit. It needed to come out. All right. So Mark 9, apologize for that. And let's go to 38. Right, 9 and 38.
And John answered him, saying, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and he followeth not us. And we forbade him because he followeth not us.
Yeah, and this is where and I don't think John might have malicious in his heart or anything. Malicious, you know what I mean? It's almost like, whoa, they using your authority. You are teaching. They ain't even with us. You know what I mean? They should be under here. Then they can use that name, but they're using your name, that authority in your name to what? Cast these things out. And we forbade it. We told them stop. You can't do that. All right, that's our teacher, right? Don't be grabbing his, you know what I mean? And this is sometimes, beloved, we got to understand that. Even come to Israel, nah, this is, you got to be in this congregation, do this work, and you start fighting against something. Like, listen, man, if they doing the work, they doing the work of God. All right. Sometimes we have to feel like we have to bash somebody down, or people be having fights between their leaders. Oh, my leader know more than you, or my leader's holy than you. And it's like, what are y'all doing? No, forgetting we are servants of Him. If a congregation church is doing well, we don't got to tear them. We don't got to compare. We should be praying and saying, Lord, continue to elevate them because it's about getting more of your children.
Kind.
We forget the mission sometimes with some of the foolishness we go through. No. Man, they start getting that credit and getting shine and stuff. And the thing is, you get covered, you start covering that. No, I deserve that. I'm supposed to be getting that kind of, recognition and stuff like that. And you'll start what? Looking at your brother in the evil light. Now you're trying to pick things apart. You want bad to happen to them. To say, see, I told you, see, they wicked. Nah. If God is getting praised through their actions, the Most High be praised. We should be praying, Lord, we thank you. We thank you that people are able to see your light. Whether the vessel's here, whether the vessel's over there, we thank you and we praise you because it's about Him getting the praise, honor, and glory, not none of us, not Lions of Zion. Okay? So, beloved, this is something, like I said, we have to get it, we have to get our spirit because some of our forefathers didn't get this. Okay? So, And that's what they doing. They was casting out devils. This is the thing. They had faith because what? Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name. So think about this. They see him casting out devils. They said, but he's not with us. So we told him you gotta stop that. Listen to that. He's casting out devils in his name. And y'all think you can trick God like you don't think he knew? Like they're casting devils out. It's working. All right. They use that authority, and it's probably greater faith that he's not following. They're not even with us, and they have that faith in casting it out. But sometimes we can't see it. That's why you got to judge righteously, beloved. Okay. So they, like I said, they was under the impression that they were doing good. Okay, let's see how Christ responds. Verse 39.
But Yahushua said, forbid him not, for there is no man which shall do a miracle in my name that can lightly speak evil of me.
He's saying, don't stop them. Why you saying don't stop? Don't forbid them. No man shall do a miracle in my name. All right. And people are going to stop there that can lightly speak evil of me. And they're not going to speak evil of me. They're not going against me. All right. So there's no point in forbidding him because remember, Christ he need to go out. That was the whole thing. But the guy was like, they're doing the work and he's doing that authority. Like, that's the good thing. All right, but he didn't see it. So he's just telling them, don't forbid him. All right. Verse 40.
But he that is not against us is on our part.
You're not against it, they on our part. If they preach this gospel and getting people up, they on our side. And, oh, they ain't doing it in my church, so nah. That ain't church thing. That's just labeling stuff so we can understand certain things. But no, beloved, we are all being consumed by being what? God's people. Christ is our king. It's only one nation, it's only one church. We got the names that's separated from it's only one church. There ain't gonna be no lines on, there ain't gonna be any of these other groups. It's gonna be you gonna be under Christ. And if you still want to hold on your little thing, you're gonna be destroyed. Okay. What you have, sis?
And just the line back, how you know he was they was for Christ, because you remember when Paul was doing his ministry in Acts, remember those
Seven sons of Sceva.
Jews, those type of Jews that were just, hanging around, Xanabog Jews. And they was acting like it was, casting out the devils in, Christ's name, but how they said it, and what Paul cast out the devils, the story I'm talking about. Y'all know the story. But those deep them that spirit jumped on them, that let you know they wasn't of the Most High in Christ. So that's why Christ was like, hey, if they for us, they can't be against us. They for us. And I know who's really for them and against them, because he don't want to try the reins and the spirit and the heart, and But yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to add to that. All praise to the Most High.
Yeah, no, great point. And the seven sons of Sceva. That's what I'm saying. That's the story. So if y'all don't know, that's the sons that even their wording was, you can tell that they weren't really in it. They wanted to, probably show themselves off, right? You start seeing this stuff. Oh, do you hear about this person? They cast out devils. Paul casting out these devils, right? And you hear that and you say, you know what? I want my name to be shown, right? You start coveting it, right? I want my name to be talked about around, you want to be the man amongst your people and stuff like that. So they went out there and, I think they said, come out of them. I don't think they used this with Christ. I think it was something like with like
It's who Paul called them.
Paul, yeah, Paul called. The wording can tell you that they weren't the authority. They used that. But guess what, beloved? I'm gonna tell you right now. You can't call out a spirit, but you better have the authority to deal with it. You never say you can call somebody. Yeah, you can. You might have an authority. That spirit might say the spirit can still have the choice. I'll come out. But that thing ain't gonna be scared. Don't think you're gonna have this why we get the fools. You see the movie, they got the power of Christ compels. They got the cross and everything. Take that cross and wear it right around their neck while they whooping you behind. You can throw all the fake holy water thing you think you got. That ain't gonna do it. You're gonna have to have the power of the Spirit of Christ upon you. Okay? That one spirit whooped all seven of those boys. They could have been young men, probably, right? So make sure that you call and first of all, make sure God is telling you to do that. Don't you pick up them. I told you, don't be picking up stuff. the Most High ain't tell you to do. Okay? So make sure you got the spirit of God and everything. And you have that spirit and God is on you, you will have that authority. You won't be fearful. Okay? But don't just try to go out, just try to make a name for yourself and stuff like that. Nah, because you're doing it, you're self-willed at that time. And you working in the same spirit as that Satan had, them demons working that self-will spirit. They got the same spirit. They're like, oh yeah, we brothers. You don't think so. Right? But we supposed to be with that authority of Christ. Okay? So once again, beloved, he that is not against us is on our part. All right. So this is why we always, beloved, we want to see the big picture. It's about bringing the brothers and sisters into this truth. And if somebody else is doing it, all praises. Doctrines can be different, a little different, if they, for the most part, they got the foundational things, let it be. Okay. So that's nothing. Oh, read verse 41, Brother Kai, and we go back.
For whosoever shall give you a cup of water to drink in my name, because ye belong to Christ, verily I say unto you, he shall not lose his reward.
So same thing. They give you something in that name, right in that authority, you should receive it. Okay. All right, let's go back to Numbers 11. Okay. So we see the whole time that spirit, beloved. Moses like, I wish all God's people had this spirit. I wish they were all prophets. Beloved, is that time. Right? We see that. This is the thing. That Acts was showing it. Pentecost was showing it. Get that spirit on the people of God. We should all be prophesying. Okay? So, like I said, Moses is showing a little bit, even that conversation, why it's there, beloved. Moses already showing this is the plan. This is what you want. For all of God's people to be prophets. We want them all having the spirit. All right. And this is where we got to get to when we get in the spirit. When we receive the spirit, we can get in that realm of being able to prophesy and everything now. All right. Where we at, Brother Kai? What was it?
It's 34 and 35.
Yeah, finish it up.
And he called the name of that place Kibroth Hattaavah, because they that buried the people that lusted. Because there they buried the people that lusted. And the people journeyed from Kibroth Hattaavah unto Hazeroth and abode at Hazeroth.
All right, we would. That's a long name, ain't it? So then we would name certain places from certain things that happened. Okay, just a little side note, like when you go to history and stuff like that, sometimes history be like, oh, it was never a place called this, or the Bible said, people try to use certain things. Beloved, just because we reference it as that doesn't mean others reference that as that. Right? We're calling it that, but you would have asked somebody from another nation, they're going to have a different name for that, right? So this is something we called it, right? And you'll have different places. Remember with Jacob wrestling with the angel, right? This will be Peniel, right? Where I seen God face to face, I think that means, right? You'll have that, so we'll have different events in different places. They'll say, all right, this is what this place is going to be called. Okay. So for this one, but if you're going to find this on a map per se, that it wasn't, not another person map. The Greeks wouldn't probably have it that name. All right. But it'll be one of our things and people that was there. If we was even doing the maps at that time, that place will have that. Okay. What you got, sis?
In my Bible, study Bible, it says it mean graves of craven. You're right. We have certain landmarks for certain things, but yeah, they have landmarked that graves of craven.
Raven. Okay. So, and once again, give it that name so you don't forget. All right. So they think of that place like, man, and remember, this is still love and murder. That's what I'm saying. It's teaching in all these things. Why am I going to call it that? Like that sounds like a bad place. It sounds like a cursed place, right? And a place where God killed people, right? But no, it's a blessing in that, because I understand, and I got to remember, I can't be murmuring everything against God. I can't be lusting after certain things, because my lust can get me killed like these people are. This is why I told you about, sometimes the language of the Bible with Paul. A writer can go and say the cursed place of, I'm gonna let Kai do that word, right? It can be a cursed place of this. Somebody can refer to it as a blessing, but it's depending the standpoint of how they're bringing the message out, that both of them can be appropriate. All right. And this is, like I said, some of the language stuff we got to understand with certain writers, how they'll use it. Okay. But nonetheless, all right, let this be an example for us, beloved. And like I said, it was a couple different uh gems in this one. That's why I was like, you know what, let's read this chapter, right? Because there's a couple of gems with this one. All right. First of all, being mindful, being grateful, being content with the Most High gave you. If you have a problem, have a situation where you maybe don't understand, go to the Most High about it. Don't murmur and complain and all that kind of stuff. Don't throw off on others, right? They get mad at Moses and Aaron, right? But it ain't their fault you ain't getting that right. But a lot of times, we'll what? You go off on them. And the Most High, listen, a lot of times He will get on you for doing that, not because, oh man, God think He's special. No, it's because this is who I appointed to lead you, to direct you, to deliver you, right? I'm talking about Moses, right? I put that vessel in front of you. So for you to attack him, who are you attacking? Most High. For you complaining about him, who are you complaining really about? Most High. That's why some of the curses happen. So like, can you be cursed going against leader? Yeah, but don't look at it just, it's because he's that vessel. If the Most High, like I said, this is an anointed teacher that the Most High put upon, anointed leader, right? Then yes, those kind of things can affect you. Okay. Because, like I said, you're going at the thing that the Most High put in place to bless you. Okay. So once again, this is no this stuff we see, but we want to make sure that we do not fall in this example. All right. And this is where the Spirit can hop on you, beloved. If we are not steadfast and say the Spirit can hop on quick. Like I said, it wasn't even 50 years. Remember, they was on in the wilderness for like 40 years. So this congregation was just in slavery. They seen the miracles of God. They're on the other side and they're eating the miracle of God. And they still wasn't satisfied. Still had room to complain and murmur. It's never good enough. Never good enough. Go to the Lord. If you feeling, some type of way, you feeling I answer, go to him. All right. We don't want to fall on the wrong side of this thing where he has to destroy us. Okay. All right. Anybody got anything? Anything stood out in this Numbers chapter 11? All right. I hope we got something from this chapter. We learned something. Nobody learned something. For those, we're going to end it there. Those that are watching through YouTube, all right, we say a yana have a thumb.